in Guatemala. And then when I came back to the States, I worked in on different issues, whether it was with local governments, whether it was with young people, working on inequities in education, looking at climate change, trying to get young folks involved, as you all are today, civically engaged and involved in these social justice issues and economic justice issues. And as many of you will hear, likely, we all get to this point where we want to do even more. We see what is broken around us, and you start to wonder, what other tables might I be able to sit at? What other rooms might I be able to find my way into to make an even bigger difference? And that room for me was the Senate chamber in 2020. And it has been such an honor and a privilege to work with so many of you. I come from a family of folks like yourselves working in these human services professions. We have a lot of nurses, we've got social workers, we've got all the folks who I think, all the folks who got those hero signs over the past 2 years. But if I'm being honest, I think we're done with our hero signs and we're ready to actually act on the fact that we know how vital and crucial your work is, which is why I'll continue to work with all of you as we fight for more increases in wages, as we fight for living and thriving wages, as we try to retain you. You all represent the largest chunk of mental health workers in this state. And as chair of the Mental Health Committee in the Senate, I know I can only be as successful as you are. And so my goal is to make sure that we can keep as many of you in these professions, that we can make sure you are earning thriving wages to support you and your families, that our thank yous go farther than a sign in our front yard, but actually show up in your bank accounts, quite frankly. And that we are helping you grow your industry. I can think of very few professions that are so noble, that are so grounded in the needs of community than social work. And so we have to make sure that more of us are entering these professions. We've got to replace all the social workers that just became legislators, right? To then become to backfill. So I've got some legislation around scholarship and helping to make sure that we can broaden it and diversify this field, make sure that we are culturally and linguistically competent, and continue to support you all. And I also just want to thank you all for the support you have thrown to not only the work I've done as chair, but some of the bills that I know are some of your priorities, whether it's the Veterans Mental Health Initiative, understanding that mental health looks different for different populations, whether it's the C-section legislation, which is one as a pregnant mama right now that I am very, very passionate about. So thank you for being there for maternal health and making sure that, all folks' rights are being taken into account. So I will leave you with that, but count on me. I am here to support all of you. And I am so grateful that so many of you showed up today to speak to your legislators, because it proves to me when I walk into my conference, I know I've got all that wind in my sails behind me with all of you doing all this advocacy work. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.